Hey guys, today we're making a bell pepper burger, so let's sit back and enjoy the ride. The ingredients you will need are 3/4 pound ground beef 80/20, 2 chili peppers, 1 pimento pepper, half small onion, 1 large clove of garlic, 1½ teaspoon Cajun Seasoning, 1½ teaspoon brown sugar, Uncle Steve's shake, thick meat, 1 large green or any color bell pepper.
Well, our first pit stop is to go prep our bell pepper burgers. Well, as you can tell, I'm doing some filming once again by myself here, guys. Well, to prep our burgers, I have about 3/4 pounds of 80/20 ground beef. Here I got myself a couple chili peppers, a red and green, which I'm going to give a rough chop. No scotch bonnet in this one here, guys. This is just a mild heat you're going to be getting with those chili peppers. Now that we have finished giving it a rough chop with the seeds and all, we are going to add it to the ground beef. And this is our first level of flavor. Next, we will be going in with 1 green pimento pepper. Pimento pepper is just a flavored pepper. This next ingredient is 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, and this is optional, of course. Here I'm just going in with half of a small onion, which I just gave a rough dice. Remember, guys, it's all about the layers of flavor. Next, I am going in with 1 clove of garlic that I have finely grated. So we are going in with 1 teaspoon of our homemade Cajun seasoning. I will have the recipe written down in the description box below. Now that everybody's in the pool, you want to use your God-given hands, of course, and give this a gentle mix. And you want to make sure that all that goodness is properly well incorporated. Well, now that everything is all mixed up, you just want to divide your meat into 2 equal parts and just gently form them into 2 large meatballs. Now that you have formed the meat into 2 large meatballs, you want to set that aside and move on to the next step. And that is a large bell pepper, any color of your choice. You want to take a sharp knife and cut off the top of that bell pepper. After cutting off the top of the bell pepper, you want to take a smaller knife and remove the seeds and the white membrane that is inside of the bell pepper. After doing this, you want to take the bell pepper, turn it upside down, just give it a slight knock on the plate to make sure that all the seeds are removed. After doing this, you want to cut some rings, approximately about 1¼ inch thick. Well, in case if you are wondering how I came up with this recipe, many years ago I saw this on YouTube by the Barbecue Pitbull, so I decided to put my own twist to it. Here I'm just finished removing those white membranes that I did not get earlier on. And there's our 2 bell pepper rings. So let's get our bell pepper rings all stuffed up. Here I'm just taking a meatball, which I'm just splitting into 2 and carefully packing it tightly into the ring. You don't want to overpack it though, because you don't want that ring to split. Well, we have gotten the first one down, and to let you know, this will be the first time I'll be actually trying this. So in case if you fell asleep, one more time, guys, take that meatball and pack it into the bell pepper ring. Make sure and pack it tightly. And here's a bit of a close-up so you can see what it looks like. Last but not least, we'll be seasoning the outside of our burgers with one of the greatest seasoning of all time. That is Uncle Steve's shake, and we'll be using the thick meat. I will have a link to Uncle Steve's website in the description box below. You want to make sure you give it a good coating on both sides. So the first sides are done, so let's flip over our burgers and do the second side. Well, you know this is going to be a good one, so long as you use that Uncle Steve's shake. And here are our burgers. Now that I have seasoned the both sides, I'm going to set them in this plate and I'm going to let them chill out in the fridge for about ½ an hour to an hour. Well, big thumbs up to Uncle Steve's shake. While our burgers are chilling in the fridge, let's go get our coals lighted. So my chaba has been coming up to temp. Here I'm going to be going in with a small piece of post oak for a bit of smoke. Well guys, here's our burgers, and you can see that the seasoning has penetrated into it. So I say it's time to place those bad boys opposite the hot coals for some indirect cooking. Here I'm trying a test run on a ½ pounder chicken burger, so if it turns out okay, look out for the video. So our burgers are on, so let's put the cover on and let the cooking begin. And here you can see my trusty old chubber doing its job, purring with that smoke. This is about 15 minutes in, so let's just take a sneak peek and see how we are looking. And we are looking mighty fine. And here you can see that Uncle Steve's shake thick meat. There's a lot of black pepper in that rub. This is about 10 minutes since we last checked it. Here I'm just going to turn things around to make sure that we get some even cooking going on. And you can see it's looking mighty fine. It's taking on that smoky flavor. Well, while we're here, let's give it a check and see how we are reading. We are reading at about 122 degrees to 124 internal. And here's a bit of a close-up, and you can see that our green bell peppers are changing color. That means it's now starting to cook. So while our burgers are cooking, let's go on to our second pit stop, and that's to make our Thousand Island dressing, which we are going to top our burgers with.
The ingredients you will need are half to 3/4 cup of ketchup, 1/4 to 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, 2 to 3 tablespoons of mustard, 6 to 8 slices of pickles, salt and black pepper.
Well, to start our Thousand Island dressing, I'm going in with 2 chili peppers, of course. This is a Thousand Island sauce with a bit of a difference. I'm going to give those a rough chop. Well, our chili peppers are all chopped up. I'm going to add them to about 1/4 cup of ketchup. Next, I'm going in with some sliced pickles, which I'm going to give a rough dice. I'm going in with about 6 to 7 slices. Here I'm just going to stack them and give them a rough chop or a fine dice. Well, our pickles are all diced up, so we're just going to add them to the mix. And remember guys, when you're cooking, you can always make it your own. Here I'm just going in with about 1 tablespoon to 1.5 tablespoons of plain old yellow mustard. And last but not least, I'm going in with about 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I can't get no Dukes in Trini, so I'm going in with the next bit, Hellmann's. And now you want to give this a good old mix and make sure that everything is properly well incorporated. And as you can see that everything has come together nicely. Oops, senior moment, I forgot to add black pepper, so I just went for it. I'm going to be adding about 1/2 teaspoon of that. So you know the routine by now, give it a good old mix. Here I'm just going to give it a taste to make sure it does not need anything else again, and is absolutely perfect. I say it's time to give our burgers a check. Here I'm just going to give them a flip to make sure we get some even cooking going on, and as you can see they are looking pretty juicy. And I'm going to let them roll for about another 10 minutes. Well, our 10 minutes is up, a few seconds for you guys, so we're going to serve those burgers. And that's what you want to see, those flames kissing those burgers. That's where you're going to get a bit of char and that flavor. Well, put the cover on and leave that for about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. Well, our 1.5 minutes has gone by. I'm just taking it off the direct coals and I'm leaving them there for a while because we need to add a bit of cheese. Here I'm just going to flip them over so the charred side is facing up. Now I'm going to add a bit of cheese. Here I have some sharp cheddar cheese which I grated. And you want to be generous when adding your cheese. And for the food police who feels that I'm going to be making a mess, that's why I have that foil below there, so it is easy cleanup. So put the cover on and leave it for about 3 to 5 minutes and that cheese should start to melt by then. So our 5 minutes is up and our cheese is now starting to show little signs of melting. So I say it's time to toast up some of the sesame buns. Okay, you can see the first bun that I did on the left hand side was a bit too dark, so I decided to put them opposite the hot coals instead. And here you can see they got nice and toasty. Here's a last close up of our bell pepper burgers on the grill and you can see the cheese has melted nicely. So I say it's time to get our burgers off the grill and let's get inside and build ourselves some sandwiches. And here's a bit of a close up once again of our burgers. I tell you, we're going to be eating good tonight. Here's what we're going to be putting on our burgers. Here I have a plate with some sliced tomatoes, some shredded iceberg lettuce and some sliced onions. Red of course, because you know I love red onions on my burger. First layer going on our burger sandwich will be a layer of that Thousand Island dressing that we made. And don't be cheap guys, you want to put enough Thousand Island dressing so you can get a taste in each bite. After spreading our Thousand Island dressing, we are going in with some of our shredded lettuce and also a generous amount of that as well. And now for the star of our show, our bell pepper cheeseburgers. Well guys, our cheeseburgers are done. Here I'm just going in with a bit of store-bought sweet honey barbecue sauce. That's just to kick it up another notch. Well, we are going in with our Roman tomatoes, 4 slices to each burger. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need a little bit of yellow mustard, so here we go. And this is my burger right there. Now I'm going in with those thinly sliced red onions, and of course we're putting extra on mine. And of course we are going to crown it off now with putting some more Thousand Island dressing on the caps of those burger buns. So I say, let's crown those bad boys and get ready for a drive-by. So fasten our seatbelts and let's go!
So boys and girls, here's our delicious bell pepper burger, and it was so tasty.
So I know you must be wondering what this looks like inside. So let's cut it down the middle and see what we got. And there we have it guys. Absolutely gorgeousness, all those layers of flavor.
I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the post notifications for more videos. See you all on our next cooking journey, and we're out until next time.